Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Right now at 10, edible cannabis concerns. 3 kids hospitalized after eating edibles at school. Find out what the state is doing to help parents keep kids from getting access to them.
Also ahead, nurses at one Connecticut hospital getting ready to strike again as they call for better pay and better working conditions.
Telling me that I was going to burn in hell and that I would pay for what I had done.
An emotional testimony today in Waterbury Superior Court for parents of Sandy Hook victims. We're going to hear how they say conspiracy theorist Alex Jones's lies ruined their lives. But we begin at 10 with the rollout of legal marijuana here in Connecticut and how the state is trying to keep kids safe. Good evening. I'm Jen Bernstein.
And I'm Ben Goldman. Thanks for joining us here. Last night, we told you about a new push by the state of Connecticut to teach adults about responsible cannabis use and how to prevent children from using it.
In a separate incident today, some New Haven students were taken to the hospital after ingesting edibles. Fox 61's Alicia Machado live in New Haven tonight to explain what happened and how Connecticut is working to stop situations like this from happening. Alicia.
Yeah, Ben, Jen, we're told by the district that 3 of the students who ingested edibles were students, 8th graders rather, at Bishop Wood School. One of the students got sick, but all 3 were taken to the hospital as a precaution, along with another student in a separate incident. That student ingesting edibles at Hill House High School. As you said, this comes at a time when the state is launching an education campaign encouraging responsible cannabis use. 4 New Haven public school students taken to the hospital after the district says they ingested edibles Wednesday. The district says 3 8th graders at Bishop Wood School ingested a candy-like edible.
The student who brought the substance in had slurred speech and became stomach sick, started to vomit. 2 of the students were experiencing no symptoms at all, but we prefer to be safe than sorry.
Later, the district announced a student at Hill House High School consumed an edible substance. The district says a teacher noticed something was off when the student was behaving erratically during a temporary lockdown. That student was taken to the hospital as well.
We don't have firm information about how they acquired them.
The district says they are emailing parents with information about how to keep children safe from edibles. This comes at a time when the state is launching an education campaign to encourage safe and responsible cannabis use by adults ahead of starting retail sales for recreational use products.
And that includes making sure that you're storing these products safely, that you're disposing of them properly.
The state's Department of Consumer Protection created several online resources, including posters, infographics, and videos that are free to use, like this one, warning that marijuana can make children and pets sick.
Signs of cannabis ingestion include sleepiness, which is the most common sign in children.
The state is encouraging health organizations, cannabis businesses, and others to utilize the resources to help educate the public and consumers. Recreational marijuana retail sales are not allowed in Connecticut yet, but adults ages 21 and over can possess small amounts of cannabis. The Department of Consumer Protection says adult use retail sales are expected to begin in Connecticut sometime around the end of this year, but the state is still working on that. We're live in New Haven tonight. Alicia Machado, Fox 61 News.
All right, Alicia, thank you very much. Let's get a first check of the forecast. A beautiful night out there.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Hi, Rach.
Hi, quiet right now, but not so much during the day tomorrow. It's looking stormy, so grab the umbrella on your way out the door and keep it with you. A strong cold front will be moving in. That will bring us scattered showers, thunderstorms, followed by some of the coolest air that we have seen so far this season heading into Thursday night and Friday. Low temperatures tonight, not all that low. We're going to stay in the 60s and the humidity will come back in again. You'll feel that tomorrow morning on your way out the door. And tomorrow we'll deal with those off and on scattered showers and thunderstorms. There is a chance for some locally heavier downpours, so keep that in mind as you're heading off to work, and check in with the Fox Fox 61 morning show crew. Those showers and storms will come to an end in the late afternoon. We might even see some bonus clearing as we head towards the early evening hours before the sun ends up going down, clearing and turning much colder heading into tomorrow night. The Storm Prediction Center highlighting the mid-Atlantic for getting a risk for severe weather. Even though they don't highlight New England, I still think there is a chance for an isolated severe thunderstorm. So we'll be watching the radar closely. Keep your phone nearby just in case any alerts come in. We're also keeping a close eye on Hurricane Fiona. Lots to talk about. Your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Rachel, thank you. We'll do at 10 tonight. Nurses at Windham Hospital are preparing to strike again as they call for more pay and better working conditions.
The nurses say that they'll strike for 2 days starting tomorrow morning. Fox 61's Tony Black live in our newsroom tonight with how this will affect the closest hospital for many towns in eastern Connecticut. Tony.
Yeah, Ben and Jen, both parties agree on no more mandatory overtime. What the hospital and the nurses union have yet to agree on is pay and health insurance benefits. They met again on Monday to discuss, but still no contract has been signed. And as nurses get ready to strike, the union president says this is all about the community.
Our impact on this community is just that important. And we are, such a rural area, and we do have limited services.
Andrea Riley is a nurse at Windham Hospital and represents nearly 100 other nurses there in local union 5041. It's the closest hospital for many in eastern Connecticut. Nearly all the blue-scrubbed frontline workers will redirect their steps to the streets Thursday as they strike for 2 days over pay and benefits.
We've asked them over and over, let's look at the numbers, let's look how far off we are, and we always got resistance.
The union wants wages to increase to match the cost of living after no increases for the past 2 years. They also want better health insurance with lower costs. The hospital in the Hartford healthcare system has an offer on the table to address all of this, but Riley says it's not enough. The offer includes pay adjustments and wage increases, as well as insurance premium contribution relief. In a statement, a spokesperson for Windham Hospital said they are disappointed an agreement has not been met. Quote, the hospital has made it clear that it is willing to consider options within the economics of a proposal we have been discussing since the end of June. Riley says their economics are not what's best for the nurses.
Looking at the economics, you can't offer decreases with insurance and premiums for nurses that are not in that band.
Riley says the insurance relief only benefits about 40% of the union nurses. She says the difference between what both parties want is not big. The president wants a hospital that can recruit and retain nurses to serve Connecticut and argues that's what they've been pitching to hospital leadership.
It's not about the nurse, it's really about the patient. Our nurses want to stay here.
The hospital says there may be surgeries and procedures rescheduled to ensure safe patient care as the nurses go on strike. Other nurses from the Hartford healthcare system will be filling in to provide care during this 2-day strike. It's scheduled to start tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock outside the Willimantic Hospital. Riley hopes it only lasts for those 2 days and hopes that they can agree on a new contract next week. In the newsroom, Tony Black, Fox 61 News.
All right, Tony, thank you. New at 10 tonight, the manager of Planet Fitness in Naugatuck was arrested after being accused of filming a man while naked in a changing area. 23-year-old Jordan Hill turned himself into Naugatuck police yesterday morning. Investigators say back in June, the man was getting out of a tanning booth when he looked at a ceiling and noticed another man holding his cell phone recording him while he still wasn't wearing any clothing. Hill is out on bond tonight. He's due in court sometime next month.
Well, new at 10, an environmental lab in Manchester is facing more than $900,000 in fines after OSHA inspectors found it exposed its employees to methylene chloride, which is a chemical that can cause cancer. The U.S. Labor Department says Phoenix Environmental Laboratories knew about the carcinogen and didn't properly replace ventilation systems that weren't working. Workers had complained to management about headaches and feeling dizzy. OSHA says Phoenix committed 17 violations, 10 of which were serious.